If you're an introvert, all bets are off. There is no way you're getting a job. Sorry, just teasing. Introverts' most challenging job interview questions and how to prepare for them. It is very common for introverts to feel overwhelmed by the job interview process. The cause of this is the mixture of meeting new people in a stressful situation coupled with the common dislike that introverts have of talking about themselves. In the job interview process, extroverts have a natural advantage as they gain energy from meeting new people, where meeting new people often has the opposite effect on introverts. In this video, I'm going to talk about some things that introverts can do to change that natural disadvantage in a job interview and turn it into an advantage. In this video, we are going to go over 3 important topics. First, a quick assessment to see how much of an introvert you really are. The second is the advantage that extroverts have over introverts and why you need to be cognizant of those advantages. Then I'm going to flip the script and go over the natural advantages that introverts have over extroverts. Yes, introverts do possess some advantages, and you may not have known that these advantages exist. Then finally, we're going to go over the types of interview questions that are the hardest for introverts to answer and teach you how to prepare for these questions to help you gain the upper hand in the interview. Stay with me through the whole video, as at the end, I'm going to talk about the questions that introverts will find the most challenging and the best way to prepare for these questions. And you're not going to want to miss that. First, how do you even know if you're an introvert? Myers-Briggs has a personality test, and you can find similar personality tests online. But I will quickly run you through the 8 questions that will help you assess whether or not you are an introvert. These are simple A or B answers, so every time you answer A, put one finger up in your hand as a rudimentary way of keeping score during this video. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through these 8 questions. Question 1. When you're in a social setting, do you usually prefer to A, engage in conversation with many different people, even if you do not know them that well, or B, talk to a few people that you know well? Question 2. After a long week, how do you prefer to recharge? Do you A, go out with friends or attend social events, or B, spend time alone or with a close friend or two in kind of a quiet setting? Question 3. In a work or school environment, do you find that you A, gain energy from being around others, engaging in group activities, or B, gain energy from working alone or in a small group? Question 4. When it comes to learning new things, do you prefer to A, learn through discussion and interaction with others, or B, learn through reading and reflecting on your own? Question 5. At a party or a large social gathering, do you typically A, enjoy mingling and meeting lots of new people, or B, feel more comfortable spending time with the people you already know? Question 6. Do you find it easier to A, share your thoughts and feelings openly with others, or B, keep your thoughts and feelings to yourself until you kind of know somebody a little bit better? Question 7. When working on a project, do you prefer to A, work with others and brainstorm in a group, or B, work independently and reflect on ideas by yourself? Question 8. How do you feel after a long period of social interaction? Do you A, feel energized and invigorated, or B, drained and in need of some quiet time? If you have less than 4 fingers up at this point, or answered A 4 times or less, then there is a good chance you find yourself somewhere on the introvert spectrum. You can get more insights into this by taking a personality test, which can also reveal other traits in your personality. Let's not go over the natural advantages that extroverts have so we know what we're up against. Extroverts have the following advantages in job interviews. 1, communication skills. Extroverts tend to be more comfortable with verbal communication and are often skilled at articulating their thoughts clearly and confidently. This can make a positive impression on interviewers. 2, social confidence. Extroverts generally are more at ease in social situations, including job interviews. Their comfort with making small talks, building rapport, and handling unexpected questions can create a favorable impression. 3, energy and enthusiasm. Extroverts often display high efforts of energy and enthusiasm, which can be a sign of motivation and excitement for the job. This positive attitude can be appealing to potential employers. 4, body language. Extroverts are usually more expressive with their body language, using gestures, eye contact, and facial expressions effectively. This can make them appeal more engaging and dynamic during interviews. 5, networking skills. Extroverts often have strong networking skills, which can lead to better preparation for interviews. They might have connections within the industry who can provide insights or even recommendations. Do these advantages that extroverts have sound insurmountable? Well, fortunately for introverts, you have a few tricks up your sleeve as well. So here are your interview advantages. 1, preparation. Introverts often excel at preparation and can thoroughly research the company and anticipate the questions and prepare thoughtful answers in advance. 2, listening skills. Introverts tend to be good listeners, which can help them understand the interview questions and have thoughtful responses. This can also help them ask insightful questions about the company and the role. 3, depth of response. Introverts might provide more detailed and reflective answers, showcasing their analytical problem-solving abilities. 4, authenticity. Introverts come across as genuine and sincere, which can build trust with the interviewer. 5, calm demeanor. Introverts often maintain a calm and composed demeanor, which can be seen as a sign of stability and reliability. Okay, now let's look in depth at best advantages that introverts have and their willingness to prepare to help them overcome the discomfort they often feel in the interview. Introverts are much more likely to feel like they need to think about how they're going to respond to interview questions in advance. Therefore, it's important that they have a good strategy for answering interview questions. Often, introverts tend to listen more in interview questions and leads to better answers. Extroverts are more likely to go into the interview more unprepared because they feel like they'll be able to answer the questions on the fly. Additionally, because extroverts tend to overanalyze or overestimate their performance, makes it a much harder time for them to take corrective action, because even when they bomb a job interview, they still think that they did a good job. And there must be some other reason that they're not getting called back. This can lead to a failure to learn from mistakes issue. So how should an introvert prepare for job interviews? Let's start by looking at the 3 things that employers universally care about: leadership skills, how you make decisions, and finally your ability to adapt and change. In leadership skills, extroverts generally have an advantage. If you're an introvert, this should be a major focus for you, as it can be a major challenge. Introverts often don't like to talk about themselves, but keep in mind that the best leaders are often introverts because they often have a more even keel, which leads to good planning skills. Extroverts are generally more charismatic leaders, which sort of fits their leadership stereotype of kind of rallying the troops. Additionally, extroverts tend to overestimate their ability and jump to the front of the line, so they often gain leadership positions earlier than introverts. And this can lead to kind of a trial by fire approach because they jump into the fray, which gives them an advantage in appearing more decisive. However, extroverts often provide details in interviews that show weakness in their foresight and overall breadth and strategy, and they do not provide very well thought out answers. Basically, they make a quick decision that might not be the best, but they hammered through it and with the suboptimal strategy got the job done. Introverts are often less compulsive and tend to weigh their decisions before making them. So generally, introverts have better decision-making skills. However, they have a harder time getting buy-in for their ideas, so they need to make sure that once they devise an optimal strategy, that they act decisively. Introverts can fully explain how they solved a particular problem, but often need kind of a nudge to push them over the finish line. Therefore, an introvert needs to pay special attention to questions that are asked about leadership and how they behave on teams. Introverts must be ready to answer these questions. There could be very many derivations of this question. Tell me about a time you led a team and what was the outcome. To properly answer this question, you'll need to first set the stage for the challenge your team faced. Then, how do you manage the brainstorming phase and the conflicts that occurred while on the team? From there, once you have a consensus, then it's time to move forward with completing the project. Once you begin moving forward, you'll have to course correct as needed as the need takes place till finally your project comes to a successful fruition. Now I'm going to go over the ability to adapt and change, which is another problem that introverts often have. However, both extroverts and introverts have strengths and weaknesses in this area. Extroverts are more likely to jump in and try something new for the sake of doing it. This gives them an experience advantage when being part of change. Introverts are more likely to methodically plan and their changes that they want to make or make to themselves, breaking down big changes and goals into small bite-sized pieces and execute on an incremental plan. In the interview question, tell me about a time that you took a risk and what was the result. The importance of this question would be that you took a risk, that you broke a rule per se. Generally, breaking a rule is because a quick action is needed in order to either prevent a catastrophe or to take advantage of an opportunity. What was the upside compared to the downside for making the decision? As an interview rule, the downside risk should mostly be borne by yourself, and most of the upside should be gained by your employer. People that can't take educated risk become caretakers in organizations. And the problem with this thought process is that not playing to win usually means a slow and steady decline for a business. Therefore, even though this question may seem not that important, businesses testing this question to make sure that they're hiring people that will seize opportunities to preserve the vitality of their business. As an introvert, you can gain the upper hand in job interviews by preparing in advance. Our system breaks down all job interviews down into just 14 topics that you must learn and prepare stories for in advance. Click the subscribe button and learn more about our interview techniques, or visit our website where we have more detailed information about our job interview strategy. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.